year 2012 was a landmark year for CAMRA. Here at the GBBF we launched a massive online campaign to try and reduce and eliminate the hated beer duty escalator tax.
I think the thing with beer duty is it's actually counterproductive. It isn't bringing in the amount of revenue that's predicted, because it does have an effect of, dissuading people from going to pubs, from having a pint in their local, and of course is one of the factors that actually can damage pubs trade and lead to them closing. So we need to get that message across. Actually, it could be a real boost for British brewing and British pubs to get rid of the duty escalator, and that's the message that we're putting out, and actually that's a very positive one.
In the end, more than 109,000 people signed the online petition, 10,000 here at the GBBF alone. And in March this year, the Chancellor George Osborne announced in his budget statement in the House of Commons that he was indeed scrapping the beer duty escalator. I'm joined by Brandon Lewis MP. Now, we've had another success listed today. You've announced today with the pubs, protecting pubs in our towns. What's that all about?
Well, we've now got 100 pubs listed as community assets. It's a great step, a great contribution from CAMRA in pushing that campaign. Just a couple of months ago it was at 50, it's now jumped to 100, and I think we can realistically hope to hit 300 by the end of the year. It's really important, because what it means is that the communities have said, we value these pubs, we think they're important to our community, and they've made a statement in getting them listed. It also gives them some protection, so that if anybody ever looks to sell that pub, the community gets a chance to step in before anything happens.
We're protecting some pubs, but pubs are still closing at quite an alarming rate, and they seem to be being turned into supermarkets, into houses. Is this enough?
Well, this is an important step, but it is only one part of the process. And it's important because it puts that protection in. No pub, once it's listed, can be sold off without the community having that 6-month opportunity to go in and save it. But we mustn't look at this with rose-tinted lenses. It's a commercial environment. For this to be successful, there's two sides to it. The pubs have got to make a good offer, a good product, good service and good value. And we as customers, as residents, we've got to use them. If we don't use them, we will lose them. So we've both got a part to play. We need to use them, and the industry needs to give us a good product. And it's starting to see benefits now, with pubs doing well through this summer.
And it does seem that the government's becoming more aware of the importance of pubs and the importance of beer, and the fact that if the beer goes up too quickly and it doesn't keep pace with wages, then fewer people go to pubs because they just can't afford it.
Well, that's why it's so great this year that we've had the first in over 50 years a cut in beer duty, the end of the dreaded escalator, and that recognises in fact actually about 4p a pint cheaper than it would have otherwise been. That's important.
Now, you're Community Pubs Minister, which is a fairly new government role. I think there was one before you. You've been in the role about a year. Why do you think they suddenly decided that this actually needs a minister to do this?
Well, I think we recognise that there is around the country about 1 million people employed through the industry. In pubs, roughly half, just under half, or under 25 of all employees. It's a huge important industry. Any one pub is worth about £100,000 a year to its local community. Pubs put over 100 million last year into good causes and charities. They can be the local post office, the library, the convenience store. You can vote in some pubs. They're important community hubs. We want to see them preserved for the benefit of those communities. But we all have a part to play in that, and that's why it's important. You've got a pub you value. Don't just use it, get it listed.
On a lighter note, you've got a pint in your hand. What's your best sort of beer? What sort of beer drinker are you?
Well, we've fantastically had Laken's Brewery just come back to Great Yarmouth in my constituency, revitalising that old traditional brand. The team have done a great job. I'm a big fan of what they've done. Legacy by Laken's is well worth a try if you can find one somewhere. But I think actually the beauty of beer, and what I really enjoy, I've been in Cornwall on holiday this year, is when you go down there, and I'm drinking a proper job at the moment, is the difference in the beers is actually what's so enjoyable. You can go around the country and get a flavour of the area in which that beer is produced. And really good beer tastes of where it's made. And that, I think, is part of the fun of it. And there's so much variety out there. My advice is go out and try it.
Community Pubs Minister, is that the best job in the government next to Prime Minister?
Well, I certainly get a lot of offers of help from colleagues, so it's certainly a popular one, but it's also a really important job because we need to make sure we promote to the wider public how important pubs are, how good they are, and the important part they play in our economy.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much indeed.